Hello everybody, welcome back. This is episode number 3 of the Amber Army YouTube channel's Football Manager 2018 experiment, Together Stronger, Revamped, Boosted Welsh League. And I know the first 2 episodes were a little long-winded, but we're sort of finding our feet and looking at what information is more important than others. So, as we go along, we will start trimming the minutes. First thing I want to do before we kick on with the domestic league is have a little look at the progress of the Welsh national team. So the world ranking is currently 13th. We'll have a look at the competitions shortly. So the Cardiff City Stadium is still the national stadium as per popular request, but the stadium capacity is much more now because of obviously Cardiff City getting the same advantages as the other teams in the Welsh Premier League. And major clubs, there you go, there's all our major clubs, top players as we already know, and all of our competitions are there. Major transfers are in amongst this as well, but let's just dive straight in and have a look and see what kind of squad we got at the moment. Now, the squad I'd imagine is still pretty much the same as you'd expect it to be, although by now you would expect 1 or 2 new regens to start creeping in. There's only 3 that I could count, and they're 3 centre backs: Declan Lewis, Russell Karamusis and Carl Jones. But Declan Lewis is one in particular I've had a look at as a rising star. He's a 1.25, so he's one of the better players in the Welsh Premier League at the moment. But then his potential is 1.67. He's going to be a fantastic centre back. He's a sweeper come centre back. So schedule. Let's have a little look at what sort of results we're getting at the moment. So we made the World Cup. I wish I'd tracked our progress in the last one. We made the World Cup. I'll have a little look at the results in the last one now. But we made it into the World Cup and we went out at the group stage. A pretty tough group, although I'm a bit disappointed we lost to Russia, considering we pumped them in the Euros. Colombia you can sort of understand, and we got the win against Tunisia, so that's all good. But then we got the European League now. European League Division B, Group 3, with Bosnia and Czech Republic. Let's have a look at last year's fixtures. So we, in the World Cup quals, we beat Ireland. I think the fixtures are a little bit different to the way they were in real life. But we beat Ireland, we beat Moldova, we drew with Austria, beat Georgia, beat Moldova, drew with Serbia. So we end up qualifying for the World Cup on the back of that. The group stage is still good to look at. Yeah, we won that group. We won that qualifier, so there we go, and a couple of good friendly wins against some South American teams, Venezuela and Ecuador. Now, so the progress of the national team is pretty solid at the moment, but we will keep an eye on that as we go ahead. We'll look at the domestic league now. So then, the JD Welsh Premier League, we've got a new season to kick off. New teams include Penybont, Holyhead and Guilsfield. Champions are currently Cardiff City, so they'll obviously be favourites. So season preview, what we got to look forward to here. Cardiff are the favourites, Merthyr, Barry, Newport County coming in at 20-1. Swansea, now that's quite surprising, they're 8 at 35-1, so something must be going on at Swansea. I mean, they've still got Ayew as a player to watch, so I don't quite get that. Well, we'll see. But there we go, yeah. Cardiff are the favourites, Merthyr and Barry are close to them. 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. So it's going to be between them 3, the bookmakers think. Transfer activity, we'll have a quick look at the transfers now. So we're doing it by fee, and Cardiff have gone out and bought 2 big players, Tom Ince and Josh Vella. That's probably why they're favourites. Ben Turner from Burton to Merthyr, Danny Pinilos from Barnsley to Newport, Adam Jackson from Barnsley to Colwyn Bay. So Barnsley being picked clean at the moment. So let's have a little look at it this way. So this is only early business, mind. It's only on the 2nd of July. Cardiff haven't wasted any time. They've gone and got a load of players in. So Silvio from Braga. Now this is an interesting one because you don't really get many foreigners coming in. Exactly how good is Silvio? Decent for this division, I suppose. So picked up on a free transfer, not so bad. So Carmarthen have made some signings. Colwyn Bay have picked up a few. Holyhead have brought in 4. Merthyr, possibly reason why they're one of the favourites is because of the signings they made. Graham Carey from Plymouth, that's a good signing, that is. Newport have brought in a few. TNS have brought in some. They need a better season, so they've wasted no time. They brought 4 in so far. Wrexham are looking for a better season. They brought in a bunch. I think Swansea haven't made any signings, so that may be a reason why. Jose Baxter and Thomas Mayas. That's 2 shrewd signings from Barry, so that's possibly a reason why they're up there as well. So Swansea need to make signings if they want their odds to shorten, if they want to have their chances to be seen. So there we go, that's the preview, guys, of the upcoming season. We will have a little look at when the transfer window ends, and that is when we will see you guys next. We're going to try and trim this down, so we're not going to waste any time on meaningless stuff. Let's get straight to the beginning of the season. Okay then, guys, the transfer window is now over. It's the 8th of September, and all the teams have played, well, most of the teams have played 3 games in this division, and Llandudno flying out the blocks, and I wonder who could be responsible for that. As if they've still got him, of course. Yeah, Roger Parsonage is injured at the moment, actually, so he's not actually played any games. So they've actually probably done what we said they should do and built a team around him. And without him, if they've done that, imagine what they can do with him. Newport County are in 2nd place, undefeated, winning 2, drawing 1. Barry are in 3rd. So early favourites, Cardiff mid-table. Only playing 2 games, they've lost 1 against Llandudno. Llandudno flying. Who have they beaten exactly? Bangor, Cardiff and Carmarthen. So, New Boys, Holyhead have lost their only game that they've played so far, and Guilsfield have lost all 3 of their games. Penny-Bont have started the better of the 3 promoted teams. So let's have a little look at the transfer activity. So the transfer window is now shut. Good. Hold on a minute, let's just have another quick look at that. So the net transfer spend for the division is 140 million. So now, about time they're actually spending some money. They're all spending some money now. So let's do this by the highest fees. So Cardiff still had the biggest transfer in the division. Tom Ince for 7.75. Lyndon Gooch from Sunderland and Merthyr. Marcus Sutner from Brighton to Cardiff. So Cardiff have made some good signings, but they're not doing too well to start with. Burton have been picked clean by the division. Penny-Bont are spending some money to stay in the division. That's probably the reason why they're doing as well as they are to start with. Guilsfield are picking up some players themselves, and so have Holyhead. But that's the biggest transfers are there for you to see. And the team that are leading the way at the moment, Llandudno, have only picked up the 1 or 2 on this screen. Newport County have picked up a couple as well. So by this, Aberystwyth, a bunch of loans, a couple of frees, not spent an awful lot of money. Bala brought in a lot of players from Newport County on loan, especially. Some free transfers. Sid Nelson, if you're a Newport County fan, you'll know who he is. So brought in a few on loan, not spent massive amounts of money. Bangor City had a poor season last year. They spent a little bit, and they brought a few in on loan. Brought in some free transfers there. David Davis, is that the... No. He is a new gen. Barry has brought in a lot, and they've spent a lot of money, which is why they'll be a favourite for the title this year. Cardiff are the next ones. So Cardiff have spent a fair bit of money. They brought in 3 particularly big transfers, brought in a few others as well, so they should be contenders. Carmarthen have spent a bit, brought in a few. Kevin Druids brought in a few themselves. We're going to not spend too much time doing this. Colwyn Bay had a poor season last year, needed a few players, which they've done that. Guilsfield, New Boys, spent a lot of money. Fair play to them, although they haven't started well. Holyhead haven't started well, they've spent a lot as well. You got to spend the money when you get promoted. Llandudno, there we go. They've not spent an awful lot. Well, they brought in quite a few players on a free, so let's see if a few of them can be shrewd deals. Merthyr, a favourite for the title this year, brought in a lot of players, so the squads are revamping big time. Newport County, one of the favourites, not immediate favourites, but they brought in some players. Could have spent a little bit more money if they wanted to push themselves up. Penny Bond have spent pretty big. Sammy Amiobi from Bolton being the biggest of them, also bringing Liam Boyce from Burton, so that's why they're probably doing so well. They brought in some players. Prestatyn didn't have a great season, although they did have a good season actually. They want to push on from that. Kenji Gorey, which was one of the stars of Merthyr, they picked up. Doesn't make an awful lot of sense from Merthyr's part for selling him. Swansea needed to make some signings. They haven't made many big ones. Picked up a few free transfers and a couple of cheap transfers, but they haven't really picked up any players of note. TNS had an extremely poor season last year, and they spent a little bit. Coney being the biggest transfer of them. See if he improves them. But they needed to improve. Wrexham, the final one, they brought in quite a lot as well. They didn't have a great season. They're going to look to push on. They picked up a few. So there's the overview on that. We'll have a quick butchers at the Cymru Alliance before we push on to the 30th of November. So in the Cymru Alliance, let's scroll this one up. So they're actually spending a bit more money there, isn't it, as well? They're actually in the millions now. They're only in the hundreds of thousands. So, but mind you, a lot of these are transfers to the Welsh Premier League. But Llandudno Junction have picked up a £1.5 million player. Campbell and Clydach picked someone up for 1.2. So yeah, there's a few signings there. You can see, there's some good transfer activities. Llanelli Town back at a good level. Looking to push to be a Premier League team again. They've made a few signings which it needed to have done. But the Cymru Alliance have started as so. Llanelli have had a good start as it goes. So Kaya Sus, I think that's how you pronounce it, leading the way with 3 out of 3. A lot like Llandudno in the Premier League. Ellis Harrison is playing for Connors Quay. That's a good signing for them. I'd imagine they'll have a decent season with him scoring goals for them. So Mark, is that M Schwab? I don't think that's Mark. That's Marcus. Not far off, He's the lead player at the moment, and he's decent for this level, but not great. I'd imagine he'll dip off a little bit. But there we go. We're going to push on now, guys. We're going to push on to the 30th of November, where we'll have a little look at the progress in the cups. So I'll see you guys there. Right then, everybody, we've hit the 30th of November, and the champions Cardiff are leading the way at the moment, but they're being only in front by 1 goal from rivals Newport County. Wrexham are close by on 24 points, so they're making the top 3 at the moment. Swansea are a little bit off it at the moment, and Llandudno, who were the starting front runners, have fallen off the boil also. The big shocks for me that Merthyr are only in 10th, and Barry are having an awful season, god-awful season. This is pretty poor for them. I mean, the rest of them, Bangor, needed to do better. They're not. Holyhead, they look like they may be going straight back down. Kevin Druids have obviously not made enough signings. They have won 0 out of 11 so far. I'd imagine the manager's bound to be sacked by now. So it's looking pretty bleak for Kevin Druids. The only plus for them is the fact that they've drawn 5 games. So Cardiff, Newport and Wrexham are the front runners for the title at the moment. Swansea are too close to them to write off right now. But that is how it's looking so far. Right then, sport for choice and what we're going to look at next. I think we'll have a quick look at the players, and then we'll have a look at the cups. So they've got top goal scorers Andre Ayew, Ollie McBurney's playing for Penny Bond, Lee Brown at Colwyn Bay is having a good season. Taylor Jones is back there with Balla, he was up there last year. Lucas Akins. So Swansea got the goal scorers. Joe Rothwell at Newport County makes up the top 10 there. So the assists, there's not a massive amount of assists flying around for people, although Matt Grimes, who's now playing at Barry, who are having a bad season, he's still getting in there with the assists, and Jason McCarthy as well. So they're setting up goals, they're just not scoring them. Average rating, let's have a look. Lucas Akins, the best player in the division at the moment, followed by Andre Ayew. Swansea just need to start winning some more games. Tom Ince, the big signing in the summer of Cardiff, is up there doing well. Danny Amankwa. I said a few words then I probably shouldn't have. Josh Vela was another big signing, as was Danny Pinedios. So a lot of Newport County and Cardiff players, as you can imagine. Wrexham, I've got a few on there as well. So looking good for them three. Swansea aren't far away from it. So let's have a quick look at the Cymru Alliance. So Kaya Sousa still holding top spot. Llandudno Junction still holding second. So the relegated teams, I think they were Connors Quay, they were Newtown, and the other one was not Portmarnock, Cardiff Met Uni. Oh my God, they are god awful, aren't they? Bottom of the league in the Premier League, bottom of the league in the Cymru Alliance. They are on free fall, absolute free fall. One thing I wanted to look at is the future Welsh star and how he's doing. Robert Parsonage isn't actually playing because Rydian Jones is playing. He is the future Welsh star in the making. Talking about Welsh, we're going to jump straight to the progress of our beloved Wales. 20th in the world, which doesn't bode well for our fixtures, well, the games that we were playing. So I don't get how we've fallen, but we've won competitive matches. We must have won that. No, we didn't. So I don't get how this whole thing works. I really need to look into this. So we finish in the middle. So Bosnia go up. So I don't get this. It's a Division B, so it must be like a Division A. I don't get it. I will do my research and find out, but we've obviously won some games. I don't get it. We've fallen to 20th place, but there we go. Any particular players that have made it into the squad now? Anyone? Newport County players are in there. Kaya Sus, this guy, he's obviously firing them to glory in the... Oh, look at him. Look at him. No wonder he's doing so well down there. He'll get picked off quite easily. Llandudno players in there, so you're getting a lot of these good new gens getting into the Welsh team. This is good to see. This is very good to see. David Antal is the one from Newport County. We'll have a quick look at him. Yeah, oh my goodness gracious me, what a player. He's going to be 18 years old. That's the one. He's going to be worth about 800 million one day. So the future of Welsh football is great with some of the fantastic players that are coming through right now. Newport County have obviously picked up some good youth players. So let's have a quick look at the cups then, guys. So the the Challenge Cup, that would have been Cardiff and Prestatyn, so Cardiff won that. JD Welsh Cup. So we're at the third round stage. It's not an awful lot of stuff to see there. We'll pick up that again. Nathaniel MG maybe at a later stage now. Yes, there we go. So Holyhead is still in that. TNS is still in it. The holders. Newport are in it. A Cardiff in it. Cardiff is still in there. Barry are in it. Merthyr are in it. A Swansea. Swansea got knocked out. So there we go. So I think that's enough for us to look at right now. JD Welsh Premier. Cardiff and Newport are gunning for it. Wrexham are very close behind, and Swansea aren't too far away to launch an attack on it. Merthyr, I'd say, are out of it. I'd say Barry are also out of it. So the better teams from last year, most of them are still there. Wrexham pushing their way up the table. Llandudno are building a team around Parsonage. So it's all looking exciting, guys. Plenty of more exciting things to come, I'm sure. So stay in touch. We will pick this up at the end of the January transfer window for the start of the next episode, where we will see out the end of our second season. So thanks for watching. Until the next time, guys. Cheerio for now.